Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Ba, ba, bam, boom, boom, boom. My people, it's that time. My people, yeah. It's that time, man. My people, what's going on? You know what? I should really start working on an intro for this conversation. I mean, I need to get someone on it, man. Maybe my guest today might even help produce a tune for me for my intros. What's going on, my people? Kitokondeko, Bonio. Yes, man like Sally B, my brother. Eben, this is 2 days in a row. This is how I know you really love me. Long time, guys. Long time. So today is a whole different conversation to yesterday. We had my brother Eugene, one of my closest friends. And he held it down for us yesterday, man. Perception versus reality. He literally spoke down Humblest, yes? Send me a brief. I'll do it. All right, Humblest, I see you. Can you DM me, Humblest? Can you DM me so we can talk? I see you. This is what it's about, man. Chris Dixon, one of the hardest working brothers, man. I see you, bro. Thanks for joining. As I was saying, my brother yesterday, Eugene, we spoke on perception and reality, and it's really just about breaking down the stereotypes of what people think Africa is, and he made sure he let us know that you can work in Africa. You can 100% work in Africa. My baby cousin is here, Johnny Kadi. Mwana Papa Mbenga, I see you. Mikey, you just stay there for the next 2 minutes before I bring you on properly. We got a special guy, Mr. Mikey Akin, in the building. A Nigerian brother from London, now currently residing in LA, but definitely a globetrotter. Like, yesterday, Eugene was amazing. He's going to definitely come back, man, for part 2. And, but today, it's the 3rd day of the INFORAFRICA campaign conversations. Yeah, and today is another special one. Does Africa live within us? Does Africa really live within us? You know, we talk about, you know, that whole statement. You know, it's not that I was born in Africa, but Africa was born in me. These are great words. But does Africa live within us, regardless of where we are in the world? How do you carry your identity as an African? How do you recognize other Africans? Do you even know when you're speaking to an African? Does that make sense? So the guy that's coming on right now, this is someone that I often have conversations with. Yes, let me pin the topic, of course. That's exactly why I just posted it, but I didn't pin it. Eddie, you have to start pinning now. This technology, it can't kill you. Pinned. You know, this guy I admire is my brother. We talk a lot on DMs. Of course, he's in LA. Sometimes we talk on WhatsApp, sometimes on DM. Actually catching up on just life. And what I love about him is he's constantly encouraging me about what I'm doing with my platform and vice versa. So there's so many things we talk about. I kind of felt that it was only fitting that we now speak about it publicly. Miss DSF, Dorcas Shola Fabson, my sister, I see you. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for also being in alignment with us with this INFORAFRICA campaign. For those who weren't there yesterday, I was explaining about INFORAFRICA, and we're just trying to get everybody together, man. All our people together to have one voice, to start doing things for ourselves across the continent. The COVID-19 situation has triggered that we need to start doing things for ourselves. Think about those back home. Think about the unity, those that need the things that we take for granted, and be able to highlight those things. So this is the 3rd day of the campaign. Big shout out to Amma, who's here somewhere. Bohemian Jollof, I see you. That's my teammate right there, always checking. My brother Obama, Obreganza, is in town. So let me get my brother in, Mikey, so we can get in this. He's in LA right now, guys, so it's early for him. They're like 8 hours behind. But my brother's got time for me. He's got time for me. Right now, one half of an amazing duo, Sons of Sonics. They have worked with everybody. I want to introduce who he is as you see his face. They've worked with everybody, man. We are matching. Oh, Mikey, we didn't speak about this. We didn't speak.
Why are you matching me?
big man, we didn't even speak about this, bro.
Yo,
And
let me change my hat.
No. Keep it. Let's stay information, bro. You know, I put this hat
What's
on. I put
going
it
on,
last
bro?
minute as well. I'm telling you.
What's going on?
You tell me, my guy.
How are you, bro?
I'm all right, my brother. Looking at your background, I know things are all right. Look at the background. I don't know. That looks like some artsy. There was expensive artwork. A lot of people will say it must be the royalties.
Bro, we thank God.
Amen. That's one of your favorite sayings, man. I remember when I went to LA to check you guys, and I landed in the studio, and I was like, wow. And the first we said was, we thank God.
Bro, we just, doing what God chose us to be,
I feel you.
That's what you can do, man. Just
you.
focus on making great music. And, as they say, success is predictable. When you work hard and you put in the hard work, which we've been doing for like over 10 years, it's not like you came to the studio and it's just like, it's just there. No, we've been working hard.
Putting in the work, man. So, guys, you're looking at Mikey music here. Mikey Akin, an amazing man, an amazing producer, amazing musician. A London boy. Spent a lot of time in London, worked with the best of them, the Wretch 3-2s, the Stormzy's of this world. But they actually embarked on a beautiful journey, took that risk, packed their stuff, and went over to LA to join their brother Harmony, who is one of the best producers we've exported out of this country for sure, right? And they went to combine with him physically, in LA, set up an amazing collaboration out there. They've got an amazing studio out there. But since then, you just recently, not too long ago, posted being part of history with Justin Bieber. You guys have worked with the likes of Justin Bieber now. I mean, give us a Steve. And this conversation here, we have 52 minutes, 51, 52. So I wanted to, first of all, just give us a quick list. Yeah, a quick list of the people you've worked with. The reason why I'm saying that is because once we now start getting into what we talk about, it needs to be laying on the foundation of credibility. So give it to me. Who have you worked with?
From the UK, we've worked with Wretch 3-2, Stormzy, Kip, Krypton Conan, Pixie Lot, Mel C. That's just to name a few. Avelino, Young Ben. We've done a few stuff with, some people killing out there. And then from America, we've worked with Justin Bieber, J-Lo, Ariana Grande, Trey Songz, Ty Dolla $ign, EXO from K-pop as well. So yeah, man, we're just not in one box, We've recently done some stuff with like Kid the Kuds in Nigeria, Tenny the Entertainer's a sister of mine, so literally just we are not stuck in one box. One thing we love is music, and we don't feel like music should be restrained to doing one genre as a producer. And one thing Harmony always taught us is you have to be diverse. People can't predict what's coming. Like in one day we literally dropped a record with J-Lo, then an Afrobeat record. And then more recently, we dropped a record with Justin Bieber, then we did like Chip, Skepta, and Young Ads on the new project. So, yeah, man, shout out to all the people that we've worked with. We appreciate you guys for giving us the opportunity to make timeless music. That's always been like our motto. So, yeah. We're working, man.
Amazing.
We're trying,
shout out to the one and only Love Mavunga, Danai Mavunga, the manager.
Yes, shout out to Danai. Yeah, shout out to Danai,
man. Man, has kept it moving for a while with the likes of DJ Tizzle in the bag, the likes of Jules, who's also part of this INFORAFRICA campaign. Bro, listen, so you've given us a nice list. He's born in London.
Yeah, Southeast Lewisham.
When was the first time you went back home to Africa, to Nigeria? Your Nigerian heritage.
I know what you meant. I know. Listen, home is
no. I know what you meant. I know you knew what I meant. We do this on DM, but I need to make sure we align with the people watching.
Yeah. Okay. So funny enough, the first time I went back to Nigeria was last year.
I love that, but I knew the answer. I knew the answer, and that's why it's beautiful. And I want you to, because we're going to be working our way up, but I want you to. Let's encapsulate that conversation, and we're talking about that Africa really live within us, right? I wanted to break down how you felt when you landed in Nigeria.
The first time I landed in Nigeria, first of all, it was hot. It was very, very, very hot. But I think for me, the experience of just seeing people like myself 100% around was undeniable. Like I've never seen a place where it's just Africans, Black products, black advertising. Every single thing was black, and it was just like, wow, you know. And it was a sense of, you know, being home, like I'm in my home. Like, you know, being in America is cool, being in London is cool, but we still don't have that home feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
There's still a missing feeling of I'm home, like the motherland. And for me, that was literally like the first experience. And it was just like, wow, like this is Nigeria. You know, going to Nigeria at the age of 28 for the first time is, you have a different view, you know, a different view on, you know, what your parents told you, what you've seen on social media and stuff. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, I'm home.
What's crazy is you said, man, I felt home. I suddenly felt home, right? And what I love about it is the fact that you're someone who's grown up in the UK, you've gone to America, you've gone all over the place, right? Those are the places you are used to. So how can
Yeah.
you now get to somewhere you've never been before in your life and suddenly feel like you're home?
Because, bro, at the end of the day, I'm African. You know, Africa is in me, like you said, like the whole topic of this conversation. And, you know, one thing we lack growing up in the Western world, especially when you haven't been back, is you haven't been to the roots of where your family come from, your bloodline, you know. And it was just instinct. It was just like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like that one trip changed my whole entire life. That whole trip changed my whole entire life.
How did it change it? How did it change it?
I think especially for me and Mo, because you gotta understand, for me and Moses, my partner in Sons of Sonics, like this was both our first time. This was both our first time to Nigeria. It's not like it was just myself, and we shared the experience together, and it kind of like refined our vision of what Sons of Sonics is. For those that don't know, like we formed Sons of Sonics with the notion or with the dream to be like, oh, we're just gonna change the music industry in the UK. Like that's what we always wanted to do. But then God kind of like opened our eyes, our spiritual eyes, to realize now that it's bigger than just a small territory. Like you have a lot of work to do back where you come from. So getting home, it was kind of like, oh, this is like the third piece, the last final piece to our identity as British-born Nigerians. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it was kind of like, yeah, you know, it was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm British. I grew up in London. Culturally, I know about, you know, everything. Like when I'm talking to Americans about Top Boy, I'm just laughing at them because I'm like, okay, this is new to you. Do you understand? This is literally a life I grew up in, and then to like be raised on American music and culture, but then not being to Nigeria, I was kind of like incomplete. You know what I'm saying? To go home and to walk the streets that my parents grew up on, it was just like, oh, it makes sense why I'm who I am. It makes sense why my views on my upbringing is the way it is from what my parents taught me, because I'm in the motherland, you know. So it just refined the vision for us.
You know, so for a lot of guys that don't know, me and this brother here, we have an unofficial, non-existent bubble of like we have our own bubble of a conversation. Like it's so crazy that I would post something or I would talk about something, and I'd say this wholeheartedly. This is one of the reasons why I really wanted to make sure I had the guys come on. Of course, you know, he represents one half of an amazing entity, but like he would always, you know, send me a message and want to elaborate on what I've just the caption I just put up, or would want to ask me questions. Always asking me, bro, what can we do? Like that's one thing you're always asking me. What can we do? And and then we'll go into our DM conversations all the time. Why do you always feel that urge? What pushes you to always want to have that conversation with me?
Like I said, that trip to Nigeria last year really changed my whole view on what I thought life was. The main reason why I'm always like pushing forward is because I had an experience where we were coming back from Farm City in Nigeria, late night. You know, you do what you do after a session, you go and chill, drink, eat shaki and all that stuff. Cool. And we were driving home at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And bear in mind, where we're living at that point was really nice, like Banana Island-esque. Like that's what is really top end. They really looked after us.
No, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. No, you really enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it. It was good. I'm not gonna lie. It was really nice.
I saw the post from that night. I saw the post from you. You enjoyed
it. So it was good. But what really baffled me was we were pulling up to the house and there was like a little girl, no more than the age of 7, homeless, no shoes, literally wearing whatever was given to her, sleeping in the middle of the floor, like in the middle of the road, like where we're pulling up. And I'm pulling up and I'm like, does anyone else see this? Like, you gotta understand, this is my first time. So I'm not used to seeing little girls that look like my little sister or my niece.
Mikey,
do you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm not used to seeing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not used to
I
seeing
understand.
little girls that I literally will carry as a niece to be like, yo, can we make sure she's fed? Sleeping on the floor. And bro, she was at peace. It was like, this was the norm to her. And I'm like, yo, does anyone else like see
Yeah.
what's happening? Like, my brain couldn't fathom what's happening. And the driver basically said to me, and was like, bro, my big boss, like, this is the norm. Like, we're so used to this. And I kid you not, ask that man who's in this chat, like, I literally couldn't sleep that night. I literally was just like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I
I
literally
understand
was like,
totally. Totally.
this is 2020, and there's a little girl sleeping on the floor, and everybody's saying
Totally.
this is right. That can't be right. That doesn't sit well with me. So from then, now, since I've been in LA and, you know, going back to London, every single time I see something to do with Africa, I'm triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like, my heart is convicted. I'm like, okay, so how are we gonna change that? Like, okay, sanitation. What's anybody gonna have a conversation about that? And even to the point where it doesn't just home in personally for just Nigeria for me. It is literally Africa, because for me, I don't see any difference between me and my Ghanaian brothers. Do you understand? Obviously, our jollof rice is
100.
better, but that's a whole different
Hey, I'm
that's a
not
different
here for that
conversation.
conversation. I'm
No,
not
no, no.
here
We
for
are
that
here for that
conversation. I
conversation.
still have to land.
We are here
I
for
still have to
that.
land in those countries, please. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
No, but do you understand what I'm saying? So for
I
me,
understand,
it's just one of
and
those.
you know what? Yeah, no, go on, finish
Yeah,
up, bro.
please.
Finish up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's literally it. And it was just that whole experience of, we are the people that have to make a change. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing Africans in West Africa, UK, Africans in the Western world, sorry, saying, you know, oh, yeah, I love being African and I love going to Africa in December and having a great time, but you're not doing anything to change the country. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it gets to that point now where we're like, we're basically taking the piss out of Africa, if that was just the
Okay,
case. Do you understand what I'm
okay,
saying?
right. And I wanted to hold that thought. Whilst I acknowledge some of the comments, you know, a lot of people are listening to you right now,
Yeah.
bro. And it's, you know, of course, I said, you know, your people, your manager, Danai Zale, Love Mavunga, big shout out to you, of course.
Shout out to Love Mavunga.
Yeah, man. I see Chris Dixon's in the building. Big shout out to my sister Charlene Caddy's there. Tell Dad I'm doing my thing, man. Don't go and start lying. You know, I am. Someone said Nigerian jollof. I'm just trying to read English out here. So, and I've seen, and please, guys, we do have the questions, the Q&As, you know, part of this live. So do use it if you have anything you would like to say, of course. And bro, you've taken me to that bit where I really, and I like the fact that you're staying within topic. It's the narrative, right? Yesterday we were speaking about perception versus reality with Eugene. And you know, and Eugene was talking about the fact that you've got to be there, like, to understand. You know, some people,
Understand, yeah.
it's about risk, but also it's about what our parents told us or were afraid to not tell us. Right now, what you're talking about in terms of narrative, and I've always said, and this is one of the reasons why we wanted to set up this INFORAFRICA campaign, because aid has been used to paint the wrong picture of Africa. Okay. So the narrative
100%.
has changed in the name of aid, where it's Africa needs the world. Without the world, Africa is nothing. Or look up Africa. They still have that same child with the nose, the fly on his nose. The child, he's still 8 years old. 25 years later, that fly has been doing mannequin challenge. Has been selling like this for how many years? That child has not
And
grown.
they,
It
like
don't make
you
no
said, they
sense.
keep pushing that narrative. Yeah, 100%.
Right. Okay. So when you're not talking about that situation about people that go abroad and you know, they have a great time only in December, then they come back and complain about the things that are missing. I mentioned this on my as a post on my page. What do you think is the main reason for that? The idea of, man, as Africans, forget other people, as Africans, still painting the wrong image of our continent. Where do you think that comes from?
That comes from programming of what we've been raised on in the Western world. If
Do
you
you think it's
haven't
just the
been to
Western world?
Africa, mainly from the Western world. I think we can't deny the fact that the Western world dominate culture, like media. We had Nigerians busing, you know, Tims. Like, we didn't know that it was because of American culture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and this, all the hip hop culture and stuff we're fed on TV, that seeps into our brain. But I think for me, like, you know, just the whole notion of a small thing of, okay, look at the maps of the world, right? The map of the countries in the world. The size of Africa doesn't make sense on the maps, on some of the maps. Do you understand what
Talk
I'm
to me,
saying? Like,
Mikey.
we've
You've
been
been doing your homework.
I've been doing my homework, because it's just like, you get to a point where you're like, Nigeria has, what is it, 200 million people. alone. That's nearly as big as America. That's just Nigeria alone. So there's no way the map that you're showing me is correct. It cannot be. But if you put, you know, there's common sense. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Rwanda, Congo, like South Africa. You mean to tell me that the continent of the size of the continent is that small? It's not. You know what I mean? So we've been programmed there. For me, I think it's that time of this generation where we're of a generation where we have to go back and know where we come from. I think when you know where you come from, you know where you're going.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? And when
Not
I went
knowing
to
thyself.
Nigeria,
Yeah.
do you understand what I'm saying? When I went to Nigeria, it was a thing of, this is why I'm here on this earth. I get it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of kids don't.
And I get that.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Makosi. Big shout out to Love Light. Stacey says all lies they put out there for sure. Not knowing thyself, that's the problem. Of course,
100%.
Makosi says programming as well. Man, listen. So Africa, does Africa live within us? You know, I saw down here the exact quote from Danai, and we all know this quote: "I'm not African because I was born in Africa, but Africa was born in me." And that's what this conversation is about. You've lived in the UK. Yeah. You're currently living in America. You're in Los Angeles right now. You've gone to Nigeria. You've been in an African household. You've gone to school, you know, and also been at the workplace with different types of Africans from all over the world, whether they're in America, whether they're wherever, right? What are the major differences that you've seen that we really need to address?
I think the main thing is just changing the narrative that Africa isn't as valuable as other places of the world. For me, you said one thing about, you know, they still put the display of the children with the flies, and they still, you know, put the display of like the typical village view that, you know, all Africans live in huts, or, you know, they still push this narrative of, you know, Africans not being as valued as the rest of the world. And I'm like, that has to change. Like, bro, there are people living like kings of Zamunda in Africa. Like, there are people living like they have no problems with wealth. Why? Because Africa is a land and a continent of resources. Now, the problem that we've had over time is who's managing these resources, who's actually investing into the people with these resources. Like, bro, Nigeria is probably one of the most, I travel a lot, bro. Nigeria is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life.
I don't disagree.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I go online and I see pictures of Tanzania and places like Rwanda and parts of Congo, and I'm like, this is Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they're not showing this in the media over here in the Western world. So the common African that's growing up is like, oh, I love African culture due to what I've been raised in, my family, and the food we eat, parties we go to. But you really don't actually know the worth of the motherland until you go back. So for me, it's just like changing the narrative and basically focusing on, I could only talk about myself first of all, and that's using my platform and to be like, no, Africa is this. Africa, if you go back and invest, we can actually be the people that's going to change the problems of Africa, changing the mindset of the people of Africa. That's literally it. And for me, it just baffles me where, you know, again, like I said, we go home, we chop life, we do, you know, Afro Nation motive, we have a great time, which is what we're entitled to do as people from that country and that continent. But what are you actually doing to improve the local state of the country and the continent?
What are you actually doing to improve the local state? And that's just the point. And I'm glad you brought it up, because it is about what we're supposed to be doing. A big shout out to Breath Cycle, who said, I was looking at the map of Africa yesterday, and I'm concerned that the country and the continent is divided. It shouldn't be. We're all one. My background is Jamaican, but I know my accent. A big shout out also to Mama Cecile, my auntie. You know, when aunties are watching, you have to give them a shout out, bro, because we're all in this together. Mama Cecile, I'm money you. And we've got another. Yes, now we've got another. Rocky says, and there's nothing wrong with huts. There are tribes that have refused to modernize in that aspect, and it's okay to be beautiful. That's the face of Africa. These are the parts that they don't really like to show. You know,
100%. No. Yeah, 100%. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying, like, you can show the huts, but you can also still show that we have buildings. Like, it's not, we're not prehistoric.
I get you. I get you. Because we as Africans are the ones that are actually working in a lot of these factories and labs that they're hiding. They take our people, our inventors, and they're the ones that are creating this modern world. They're part of technology, but we will never know this. So it's important for people to show that we are also advancing. because there's nothing wrong with huts. If someone chooses to, that's how they want to be. But we were also ahead of civilization with the pyramid and all that stuff. So it's to just show a fair share. Now, my brother, I wanna start bringing this in with your career. Yeah, we stated earlier that, of course, you've worked with all these amazing artists all over the world, and you've also done, you know, different genres. Yeah. With your music, how does that sit with how you carry your culture forth? How do you translate your culture within your music? We've had this conversation. I've sat in a studio in LA with you guys. I went to LA, by the way, guys, specifically to just sit down like this in the studio and watch these guys, because I just wanted to understand what kind of life they were living and how things were going. It was a mind opener. Now, I've sat there and I've seen how you've applied this, but I wanted to break down the importance of your culture within your music, how you've actually been able to break, you know, spread your wings with that.
My music stems from my culture. End of. Like, I started making music in a Pentecostal African church, playing drums at the age of 5. You don't get any more culture than that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, like, that has always been the foundation of the music, of how I hear music, like listening to African praise and Fuji music and music that my mum and dad used to play, like in Saturday morning, from like Ebenezer Obey to my dad playing K1. Like, that's always been my foundation. So
Yeah.
being introduced to music in the Western world, I'm this bush boy going to secondary school, playing African drums, being taught, you know, westernized music and contemporary music. So that has always been my foundation, and it got refined. Like, over the years, we just refined our gifts. Like, the same thing I'm saying for me is the same with Moses. Like, he was playing keys in church from like the age of 6. African praise. It's not, we're not playing, you know, ode to, we're not playing, but we're playing anointing for, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that has always been the foundation of our music. So as we're making music and producing, we'll have the African played it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or you have a groove that just feels like these are Nigerian boys, you know? So that's always been in our foundation of our music. And someone literally just wrote the chord progression of the song, C, F, G, and that's literally it. That's literally how we grew up.
C, F, G.
Humblest all the time. So that's always been in our music, and all we've done is literally, brother, just taking it into different genres. So if we do pop, there'll be an element of Afrobeat in there. If we do R&B, there'll be an element of, you know, being African and being cultured in there, you know. So that's always been our foundation.
And of course, you know, moving it forward, you guys have reached the stage. You've touched so many people, and ultimately, you know, I saw the picture. You're on the red carpet at the Grammys, and these are all moments where you go, okay, you know what? These doors have opened because of your hard work. Of course, what's the bigger picture?
Bro, the bigger picture is being the bridge, being a platform for other people that build platforms.
I'm listening.
I think that should be the picture for everybody. Like, I feel like you are brought to this earth to bring value to other people. So with us, we are here to bring value to other people, to give other people the blueprint and the opportunity to say, listen, you can do what you want to do. You can achieve what's in your head. You can achieve whatever God's given you as a vision. All you have to do is believe in yourself, be diligent to your gift, build that platform, and then teach other people how to do what you just did. You know what I mean? For me, I've just learned over this, especially this COVID period, like, I've just realized that, you know, you're more valuable when you bring value to other people. So for us, that's what we want to do. And we want to basically be on the forefront, be the people to be like, we were a part of the team that helped push the culture forward, that helped make people understand what being African is. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that are doing it right now. We just want to play our part, you know, from Afro B, who's just logged in, like, shout out to Afro B, like, what he did with Joanna, you don't understand. Like, living in America and seeing that Joanna wave happen, we started. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we've really started. Like, not to say we haven't been doing it before. We have. Davido's been doing it, Wizkid, but this is the next generation of people that are really pushing the we always see the levels, you know. So for me, it's just like, now I'm on the crowd. Anything African, I'm promoting it. Anything to do with Afrobeat, like, I get Afrobeat artists sending me stuff. I'll listen to it. If I love it, if I think it's dope, I will share it. I will post it. Even if it's a thing of saying like, yo, I think you should do this, I would advise. There's nothing I don't lose anything that way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mikey,
so for
you've
me,
answered that question.
that's what.
You've answered the question, Mikey. Somebody asked here,
Which one?
Naomi Jasmine asked, how can they support young upcoming African artists? I wanted to ask you that. You've already answered the question, bro. So, you know,
No,
that's a
literally,
fact. That's a fact.
literally, I think it's just at that point now where if we don't sharpen each other, then who's gonna do it for us? You know, if we don't
My brother.
encourage each other, who's gonna do it for us? And I'm just sick and tired of complaining. Oh, the scene is this, and the Afrobeat scene is this, and you know, no one's helping us. Okay, who's gonna make a difference?
See, this is the thing. So, you know, the last time I was talking about, and it's still on my page now for people to see. Big shout out to Black on Black business, Black on Black business in the UK, who interviewed me in Ghana. They've been publishing some of those interviews, and I spoke on the fact that if you see a problem and you happen to spot it, that means God gave you the eyes to recognize that problem. Therefore, He gave you also the ability to be the solution to that problem. And we're constantly complaining in our society, you know, constantly complaining about what needs to be done. People here are talking about people have an agenda. You know, this British channels have got an agenda. You know, these race has got an agenda to divide and conquer. So why don't we add and conquer? And this is what people don't understand. Instead of focusing on what other people are doing, should we not be focusing on our own addition? Add, multiply, and conquer. Add, multiply, so we become victorious. Talking about how you carry your culture. How do you, big shout out to Afrobeat who said it's true, or raise awareness towards it? I love that. Afrobeat is also part of this INFORAFRICA campaign. Thank you for lending your hands. He's going to be one of the guys that's going to be performing as part of our festival as well. And you know, it's a beautiful thing to know that we can raise awareness, just use our voice. What would you say to those people who go, but I'm not a celebrity? You know, like, actually, I don't even know much about Africa. Nobody really speaks to me about Africa. And I'm talking about whether they're Jamaican, they're Bayesian, they're Ugandan, they're Brazilian, you know, they're from Montserrat. Just the fact that I don't know about Africa, I've never been. I'm more Caribbean. Like, what can we do? Because I will speak on behalf of the Caribbean as much as I can understand it, because that's so my brother. So what's your stance on that?
Simply, it's bigger than you. That's one thing I've learned. Like, this thing called life, it is bigger than yourself. So you saying, I am not a celebrity, I am not this, I don't do, bro, it's not about you, my guy. I've come to understand in my journey that the apple is never for the tree. And when I say that, my gift is not for me. Just shout out to someone literally just typed Miles Monroe, and that's very, very true. Like, this is a teacher of mine that I've learned, and he's basically explained to me, he's recently passed away, but well, from his videos I've picked up that what I do and what I have the ability to do in this lifetime is not for me. It's to bring value to other people. So you now making it self-centered and saying, you know, it's I'm not doing this, and bro, you have people that you have been sent here to help. Just a harsh reality. If you don't appreciate it, then that's on you. And that's something that I pray that we can help influence and change your mindset. But you have to look at it as it's bigger than you, man. Like, it's about you coming here, leaving a legacy for the next generation. So with me understanding that, I am not going to come here and be like, oh, I just had an amazing career and made great music and worked with great people, but then that's it. That's not the narrative I'm trying to push, bro. And that's not the narrative I think everyone should be pushing. Everyone should be thinking about, how do I bring value to other people with my gift? End of.
You know, the word purpose keeps coming up. Shout out to my brother Fumbi Omotayo, one of the best comedians I know. Been on the road with me since day one.
Yo,
he's killing it right now. I think he's got his special coming out, man.
Boom Burks.
He has a special coming out. Special guy. Special brother. Everyone has a purpose on this planet.
Purpose, bro.
Afrobeat had just said, planting the seed for the tree, even though you won't benefit from the shade. Oh my God. Love like space. Now let's talk on that. This is beautiful. You know, I love the way my people combine. Let me ask you a question, Mikey. Love like say, let me read it again. Planting the seed for the tree, even though you won't benefit from the shade. What she means by that is something that I am in love with, which is we often want to be the building and don't want to settle to just be the brick. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we have to. The reason why a lot of people are now enjoying different races, different cultures are now they're enjoying because their great grandparents said, "I will do my part as long as I know my children's children will survive and enjoy life." And this is the problem we tend to have with us. So we want to see the change now. Everyone's always like, "But is Africa ever going to change? Is the situation ever going to change for Black people? Are we ever going to actually be united?" But if you do your part, Is it not enough, Mikey?
It's a big change. It's a very, very big change. Like I said, everyone can only worry about what you can control. So you just complaining and physically not doing anything defeats the whole point. Like, you are adding to the complaint. You're not doing anything. You're just complaining. Like, and a prime example, Balotelli, footballer, right? For those that don't know, he literally announced and said, I want to challenge African footballers to go back home and invest in our own league, our own stadium. Let's do our own thing, because it's getting to a point where we are now being, you know, chanted as monkeys in, you know, other leagues around the world. Like, forget them. Let's go home. Let's see who actually does it. All it takes, bro, is 5 to 10 big time African players to say we agree, and then it's there. It's done.
It's done.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where 2 or 3 are gathered, that God is there, right? So
come on, my uncle just released the words, bro. Released it. We're listening.
I'm not even. I feel like, you know, sometimes when people say these things and these lines of, you know, biblical lines at 2 or 3, we like, oh, you're being too spiritual. No, I'm being factual. It's facts. You know, like, if we come together and say this is this, this is that, how do we bring my gift and my platform together with yours to make a change? We can actually make a change. You think Akon didn't wake up one day and was like, I'm actually going to bring electricity to Africa? He did. Simple. He had a conversation with people to the point where now you're saying you're going to build your own city. Come on, bro. There's nothing you can tell me I can't do. The guy is literally building his own city. So for me, if I call Eddie and I'm like, Eddie, how do I bring music and my platform with what you're doing with Mo and, let's say, P2J, Afro B, and then we go, so many people that are doing what they're doing, representing Africa, and we combine together. Why can't it be done?
And here's the thing, right? I always, someone just said, break the cycle, just says, you know, they were having that conversation earlier, but also asked, but who will back him? How about you just say yes first? And then don't worry about who will back. This is the problem sometimes we have. We shouldn't think about, oh, I want to do this, but you back yourself first. Because that mentality of showing people I'm ready to jump, then everybody else will believe you. We don't have to think about that situation right there.
Yeah, bro, I'm the same. Like, even with me and Mo, when we say what we say we want to do to people, sometimes it's kind of like, but how are you going to do it? Listen, I've told you it's going to happen. I've seen it, so it's already happened. The only thing that I can't control is time of how long it's going to take. But if something that God has given me as a vision to happen, he's going to provide for me. So I'm not worried. All I have to focus on is my gift, making sure we keep putting out great music, making sure that's literally how we're going to do it. Jay-Z didn't get to the point because, you know, he was the best businessman or the best dope dealer. No, he was because he's the best rapper. He was a slave to his gift. That Michael Jordan documentary, slave to his gift. Do you honestly think that when he was shooting 800 free throws every morning that he was thinking about Jordan, the shoes? No, it doesn't work like that. He wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about his gift. But my point being is, if I focus on my gift and I know where I'm going and I have people around me that are on the same page and we unify together, I guarantee you, bro, we can change that continent quicker than we realize. I guarantee you.
Come on.
I guarantee you.
Come on, bro. And you know what? And your guarantee is good enough for me. We've reached let me just make sure I know what I'm looking at. We have reached the 39th minute of this conversation. Now we've got another, let's just say 19 to be safe, because, you know, you can't trust Instagram these days. They're not like it.
You can't trust Instagram.
So, exactly. So now let's get to the homework part of things, where our people that are here, we send them back to actually with some bullet points or certain things that, you know, from our point of view, that we need to start doing, just like yesterday, you know, food for thoughts, yeah? And so where I'm coming up with you is, I want to get some answers from you in terms of how you've been able to survive in so many different dimensions of the world. What I mean by that is how you've applied yourself as a Black, British, African boy in America. What were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome that? Mind you, you went there and you guys, of course, landed, with your brother Harmony, who actually, what I like about him, said you will create your own legacy. You will create your own lane. He didn't just check everything your way. So, but I wanted to talk on culture on that. Because a lot of people are afraid to move to Africa or go somewhere else, move to America. How did you do it? What was the thought process behind it? What keeps you going?
I have to take you back to why we moved. We moved initially just because we just moved because we were frustrated at the fact that we weren't given the opportunities that we felt we deserved, just based on the fact that we had put time into our gift. It's just simple. Like, bro, you gotta understand, being told no from your first publishing meeting that you can't make R&B music and be successful in the UK, it rings in your head like, what are you telling me? Like, what? Do you understand what I'm saying? That we make music that feels good to us, that makes us feel good. So you gotta understand, we're two boys in the UK running around trying to work with everybody, trying to make big things, and then we're being told, yeah, it's all right, nah, it's cool, nah. Then we have a brother that's in America who's working with the likes of Chris Brown and Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, and you're telling me we can't do. Big up my brother Harmony, man. Like, you gotta understand, I call him the blueprint for a reason, because he's somebody that looks like me, comes from where I come from, and has done amazing things. So I don't have an excuse. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for me and Mo, it was just like you've given two hungry kids the cheat code, you know. So we were just like, nah, forget this. We're gonna move to America, and whatever happens, happens. And at first, you know, it was a culture change. You know, the work ethic out here is different. These guys are very, very talented at what they do. So for us, we had to step up our game quick. And what was happening is we were hopping back and forth from the UK and America while we were sorting out our visa situation. So we'll come to America, see what's popping, be inspired, then go back to the UK, do the same thing. And then we'll get placements like Rex 32's whole album, learn how to executive produce albums, and learn how to develop artists. When we moved out here, it was just like, okay, we are fully here. And we just got by just focusing on our gift, bro. I kid you not. You see us in LA, like Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday. We don't do anything else but be in the studio. People think, oh yeah, you're in LA, and you know, you must be in love and hip hop. I'm like, if my mom saw me on Love,
I remember saying, so Mikey, I'm in town.
Listen, it's not the life that I'm here for.
Day one. Okay, Mikey, so yesterday was fantastic in the studio. So what we doing today? Yeah, bro, passing the studio. So hey.
Studio, bro.
I love that.
Even the day that you came, to the studio. Remember, we went to a video record that we did for Nobody.
I remember, oh my God,
and then we still came back to the studio.
And a new baby with Harry Pinero. That's the first time I met Mira May. I met her with you guys.
Yes,
when you went to do a shoot. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, we've just gotten by just being focused on the gift and just developing our sound, so that when we press play, you're like, these people meant this. And then that's what we're going to use in the influence to do what we need to do in this earth, and, you know, fulfill our purpose. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like coming to America is,
and you know what?
Yeah, go on.
No, keep going, Mikey. Keep going, please.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, literally coming to America was just a refining process for us. I think being in the UK, we are exposed to so many cultures musically that that the UK naturally births amazing talent. That's one thing I'll give London. Like, we always give birth to amazing people that you're just like, yo, where did you come from? Just a you know, product of our environment. Whereas America was the land of opportunity and refinement. So it just refined our gifts, and then it allowed us to, you know, magically work on Justin Bieber. Do you get what I'm saying? Or Jennifer Lopez. The opportunities are there. I think with America, once you are good at what you do, the opportunities will just come sucking in. But then going to Nigeria is just, this is who you are and your purpose. So sort it out. You know what I mean? So
I love that. And you know, seeing you guys in Nigeria and how, you know, you guys were just moving around and connecting with different people, and the Don Jazzies and the Dibanjis and all types of people, I recognized that. I saw the change in you. I saw the fire in you change completely in yourself and Mo. Even in that night going on that trip with you guys, there was a whole new energy that came about there. Big shout out to my sister Rachel Asamba, who is actually in Congo, and she's been doing amazing work. She's someone who took a plunge and moved back home. This is a London girl who's gone back to Congo and doing amazing stuff out there, raising funds for our community during this COVID-19. I applaud you, my sister. You know, it's a big shout out to E+. I see you, E+. So like,
we got E+.
You know, in terms of now, your bravery, and you took that step. But you're constant. You're a guy that you don't hide your culture. You're a guy that speaks to another person, and you're like, this is who I am. This is what it's about. Have you ever felt any obstacles or restrictions or confusion to when you're trying to explain the dynamics of the person that you are?
No, I think I'm just at that point of acceptance that, you know, this is who I am. I'm not gonna change who I am. Like, when I speak to people, it's just like, oh, you're British. No, prime example. So the other day, someone was like, oh, where you from? And I was like, I'm from Nigeria. They were like, oh, I thought you were going to say you're British. And I was like, no, I was born in Britain, but I'm from Nigeria. That change in narrative makes the person go, oh, do you get what I'm saying? Like you have to carry yourself with pride. Like we have to now be proud of who we are. So now when I speak to people, I'm like, yeah, I'm Nigerian, bro. I like jollof rice. You know, I like Afrobeat. I listen to this. You should check out this person. Big up my guy Oxlade. Listen to Oxlade. Listen to
Yeah.
Afrobeat. Check out people from my culture that are doing amazing things. Simple. And if they don't like it, that's on you. I'm not gonna change who I am for who you think I am. You know, and who you want me to be. Nah, never gonna happen.
Now, one of the most important questions I've got for you about does Africa live within us? This is the question I really wanted to drop your way. Our culture, how we differ as Africans in what we place value on. So yesterday I was having a conversation. I was on a panel for Africa Communication, and it was 3 amazing ladies across the continent from the diaspora as well. And the concept was about creatives and changing the narrative. And one of the issues that was raised was that different cultures place different values on creatives. Some cultures, you know, I've always said, my parents, as far as they were concerned, it was the doctor, the journalist, the lawyer conversation that would justify me going to university or even being in London, right? Talking about becoming a comedian, like, what are you doing? Now, and
bro,
let me lay
that's
this
a conversation.
Let me lay this on you.
Yeah.
As we reach the stage where you're talking about someone being successful, but you're also Nigerian. But we talk about Africans and we have people from all walks of life, different fields altogether. You've survived and you've excelled in music. How can other people do the same thing and have the confidence if it's not your normal academic jobs as creatives? How do you walk through that struggle of everybody looking at you, but you're a musician? Oh, but he only became a footballer. Oh, he's a comedian. Like, you know, that they don't set that value. How do you stay strong and keep going? Because it's not easy, especially within our culture as Africans.
The moment I hit a level of success in my field was when I stopped caring what other people cared about.
Let's go.
I stopped listening to my parents, and it gets to that point where it's like me versus the world, and that includes your family, your mom, your dad, your sisters, your cousins, your older brother. It's everyone. And the reason why I say that is because they didn't create me. They didn't create me. They didn't bring me to this earth for a reason. God did. So God clearly knew why I was here, gave me a gift of music, gave me a reason of understanding when I hear a song. I know what's wrong with that song. Change this, do this, you know, like proper, that's my gift. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the moment I focused on that and was a slave to my gift, bro, my life changed. And you gotta understand, a lot of our people that are close to us, especially our parents, they're not doing it because they don't want you to be successful. That's not the narrative. They're doing it out of fear of only basically knowing, or only basically teaching what they know. So you gotta understand, for me, my parents, especially with my dad, like, it was a thing where, what do you mean I'm gonna do music? What do you mean you're doing music? What do you're what? Because culturally, anyone that did music is those people that, you know, you do it as entertainment, and that's it. You can't make a substantial living. But when now my parents are seeing us doing what we're doing, and, you know, I come home and I'm like, hey, hold this little bag.
Hold it.
The conversation is different. It's different. So for me, in my head, I'm like, the other day, I literally said to a friend of mine, Amber Riley, right? I was like, Amber, like, I literally have a career because I know how to make music. Like, do you understand how funny that is? Like, I literally have a life because I understand how to make a song. Why would I then listen to the views of other people saying, oh, yeah, you're African, you should be doing doctor? Listen, don't get twisted. Everyone that's doing what they need to do in their field, that's amazing. That's why you are to do it. Do it to the best ability. But for me, like, again, culturally, music, entertainment, we get frowned upon. But then when we're seeing John Boyega on the stage winning awards, we're happy to say we're Nigerian. No, we need to embrace that from the jump. We need to embrace, if my child comes to me and is like, Dad, I like to paint, I'm not now going to say, what do you mean you're going to paint? No, you're going to become a mechanic engineer. What happened there?
My friend, I always say, you know, and I keep saying that we are supposed to be the iPhone 10 to our parents' iPhone 6, 7, or 8. We're supposed to be an advanced version of our parents. This is how life was intended to be. That I said earlier,
Bro,
this is why white supremacy was born out of people investing in their future generation. Yeah? And if
thank you
we
very
think
much.
about that, your children are supposed to be an advanced version of you. They're supposed to step up
Of
from where you
yourself.
left off.
Yep.
So I totally agree that,
Yep.
but sometimes we also have to educate our parents to understand that. So our action, let me tell you a quick story.
100%.
The first show my dad ever saw me performing, he refused, he didn't understand this comedy thing. He was disappointed, he regretted my existence. What's going on? He's come to the show, everyone's
As they
laughing
do.
at him. Everybody's laughing by him, Mike. And I've told this joke before. This it's become a part of a joke, but this was a part of it. I'm looking at Dad, he's just nodding. He's not laughing. Everybody's laughing at my dad. What he's doing is this. Bro, when the show finished, I said to Dad, didn't you find it funny? You didn't enjoy it? He said, Eddie, you are talented. I said, but you didn't laugh. He said, Eddie, how can I laugh? I was too busy counting the money. 200. 20.
Wow.
20, 30 pounds. Eddie, there's 200 people here, times 20 pounds. We have made money. When is our next show? That became my accountant, my tour manager, my secretary. Sometimes it's about speaking to them in their language, but you have to go ahead and then they will follow. You know what I'm saying?
But this is my point.
So
like for me, I had to like we learned that like we literally was just like you understand. I'm telling my mom in a whole country to go to another country to pursue something they told me I shouldn't do. Just out of fear, and I am successful at doing that. They're baffled, bro. They're rattled. Like my mom's looking at me like, yeah, this boy knows what he's doing. This boy knows why he's here, and that's just because of my gift.
Yeah, respect.
It's that simple. Do you understand what I'm saying? And like you said, for me, in order for me to change you, like I have to be a man of character to influence people to be men of characters. So let me just focus on what I have to do, make the bangers, and then you go from there. You know.
For sure.
Lead by example.
So tell me, you've been to Nigeria. What in the continent? You haven't been anywhere else. Where else in the continent have you been?
I've only been to Nigeria, bro.
To Nigeria. So let me ask you this, right? You've seen images of the different parts of the continent, but you've also seen images of the Caribbean, and you also see maybe images of maybe how people, black people live in Brazil and stuff. Do you ever see a common denominator in the people we are, apart from the color of our skin, of course, just in terms of you have an expectation that when you go to Uganda or you go to Namibia or you go to South Africa, is there an expectation from what you know of
it? There's always going to be an expectation of where you're going to somewhere. I think with Africa, I just know I'm going to be at peace. There's just a feeling of when I go to these places, I'm going to be at peace. Like I'm going to feel like, I'm home. And you know what's so funny, bro? Last year, I went to Nigeria for the first time. Exactly. Like, soon as we finished with Nigeria, I went to Jamaica for the first time. Like, it was literally Nigeria, Jamaica. Like, I went for a friend's birthday, right? And that was my whole experience of Jamaica for the first time. Again, at peace. I was at home. It was just, yeah, man's in Rose. I was in Ocho Rio, whatever, Ocho Rio. Yeah. Jamaicans, don't kill me. But I was there and
it's okay. It's okay.
It was
they'll understand. Some of them can't pronounce Ouagadougou, so it's okay.
Ocho Rio, you don't know. And literally it was peace. So for me, like I always just expect to be where I'm supposed to be, like where home is when I go there. Uganda, Rwanda, Congo, Ghana, South Africa, I know I'm going to be at peace. I just know I'm going to be home. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, Kojo's here.
Kojo's, I was about to say, Kojo.
We got to my brother Kojo.
Kojo's doing the Ghanaian jollof business right here. Big up to Kojo.
He's doing the Ghanaian rep. Yeah. But yeah, like literally all these places, like I speak to people that, are doing amazing things in Ghana, like Danny Wonders and Kojo as well. And I'm like, I can't wait to go to Ghana because I see what's happening in Ghana. Then I can't wait to go to like, South Africa with the whole Ampiano vibe. Like I want to be a part of, what is happening on our continent, so.
Wow. So we've got, this is it. We have 5 minutes of this conversation and in injury time, Coach just coming to reveal that your beard is not real. This is not fair. This is not,
listen.
You see, Mikey, when we're talking realness, they always send that one African to come and deter us.
There's always that one Liverpool Ghanaian.
They send that one Ghanaian jollof to
yeah.
I know Coach is frustrated, man. He wants to be back on the road touring. The COVID locked up his tour, man. So, bro, I'm aware we've got 5 minutes left. So this is where we're trying to get to. INFORAFRICA campaign to unite influencers from all over the world, regardless of who you are. You're an influencer, regardless of where you're based around the world. As long as you love Africa, you're in it for Africa. We're asking you to be the voice for the voiceless, yeah? Any special messages for those back home in terms of how you feel as an African who's carrying their message, who's speaking on their behalf, who is their representative around the world? Any special messages you got for them?
The destiny of every Black person ends in Africa. That would be what I have to say. That's all I can say. Invest in Africa. Use your gift, whether it's pharmacy, whether it's engineering, whether it's creative, whether it's being a lawyer. Invest in Africa. That's all I can say, because we are all we have. And if we don't invest in ourselves, then who's going to do it for us? Other people are just going to come, see the beauty in Africa, you know, take what they want from it and keep it moving. And we can't allow that to happen. We have to invest in Africa, whether it's via London, whether it's via LA, whether it's via Canada. We need to give back. And I feel like the moment we do that is the moment we start to see change. And then it's better for the generation that come after us. It has to be easier for them. It has to be.
Fantastic. I love that. My big brother too. My brother Jeremiah Asiama. Jeremiah Asiama. This is a very blessed brother. Congrats on your new role, on promotion.
You see this guy? Bro, this guy, I'm so proud of him, because we met at Represent Radio, and I remember this guy telling me everything he wanted to do, and to see him do it, and he's a young Black guy from
He's
South
a young
London.
Black guy.
It's amazing.
Quiet and
it's amazing.
He's so quiet but so loud. Oh, so
very,
loud
very
in his action. It's amazing. Big shout out to Anointed One, Anointed 400. I see you. My sister Trudy, I see you. Rocky, I see you. And thanks, Kojo, for the lovely words as well, my brother. I'm actually doing a thing called Comedy Hour, guys. So I'm definitely going to get Kojo involved in that, where we sit down during this period with our our brothers in comedy, our sisters in comedy, and just talk about life and talk about how we stop ourselves from crying by laughing. So the first one is out now on the INFORAFRICA, Getinforafrica. I've got it right there pinned. Page. Right. They're gonna steer you towards the Facebook and towards the YouTube page as well. We've uploaded it. I'm having a great conversation with some amazing people out there. The first one is Alfred Kayinga and Celestine Tuli. That's a Zimbabwean and a South African, both comics. We had a great time. So go on to Getinforafrica and get all the information there. I'm going to be posting on my page as well. So Coach, I'm coming for you, most definitely, man, so we can chop it up. My brother Mikey, listen. Right now, you're doing so much. Amazing. Your work is being displayed on the billboard. Your work is being displayed on the charts here in this country. It's been displayed all the way in K-pop. Where's K-pop? Korea. Like your work is everywhere. What have we got forward to look? What should we look forward to now, bro? Talk to us about what's coming up now.
We have music coming from all places of the world, from Latin America. We really try to bridge the gap of the Afrobeat scene with some big amazing Latin artists. Sorry, so look forward to that. We've got some records coming out here with Amber Riley. We've just done her whole project, which is an amazing cinematic, very, very huge. I'm excited about that one. And the Sons of Sonics project is coming. It's still coming. We released our single 2 years ago, Full Speed with Bert Simmons, but we've been cooking and we've been refining the project. The project basically is going to sound like what I've been talking about. So I'm excited about how the world is going to, receive this. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
My brother Mikey, you make me so happy. Big shout out to Mo on the other side. I know you both can't be at the studio at the same time. I know how this game goes. So I'm glad at least one of you was released to come and have this moment with me, bro. It's been amazing. 100%. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being African, man. As Africans, as you know, we want you to be. You understand? Big shout out to Governor B, another child of Ghana who's come down.
Shout out to Governor B, DJ Jingles, DJ E+, everybody African killing it. Please continue, man. Fantastic. We have each other in this. So yeah, let's get it.
For those who just joined us and you're regretting, I'm going to be uploading this on my page. Please go to Getinforafrica on Instagram to check out more information. As I said, the comedy hour is up. I'm back tomorrow at 6 p.m. I know my brother's got a whole day because it's early right now. We have 50 seconds to go. So I'd like to pray to all the people out there, man, who's lost great ones in their families. I ask for protection, man. And also our brother who we've lost in America during these crazy times. This has got to stop, but it starts with us. Yeah? Peace and love to all you guys. Congo
Thank
Swag,
you guys. I appreciate
Mikey, Mikey Music. God bless you, my brother. Love.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one. Bless. My guy.
Oh, shit.